Chase Elliott has emerged as one of the biggest talking points in the NASCAR Cup Series garage ahead of the upcoming race weekend, as rivals closely monitor the form and momentum of Hendrick Motorsports' most popular driver. After showing consistent speed in recent events, Elliott enters the race carrying heightened expectations from both fans and competitors. His ability to quietly position himself as a contender has sparked renewed discussion throughout the paddock, with several rivals acknowledging that Elliott remains a major threat whenever championship points and victories are on the line. Much of the attention surrounding Elliott stems from his impressive consistency over the past several races. While other contenders have struggled with crashes, penalties, and mechanical issues, the former Cup Series champion has steadily accumulated points and maintained a strong presence near the front of the field. This consistency has prompted rival teams to view Elliott as one of the most dangerous drivers entering the next stage of the season, particularly as the playoff battle continues to intensify. The spotlight grew even brighter following Elliott's recent comments regarding the increasingly aggressive nature of racing in the Cup Series. The Hendrick Motorsports driver emphasized the importance of balancing hard racing with respect among competitors, remarks that quickly generated discussion across the NASCAR community. Some rivals agreed with his perspective, while others suggested that modern racing conditions leave little room for caution when every position can determine a playoff berth. Several competitors have also pointed to Elliott's reputation for remaining calm under pressure as one of his greatest strengths. Unlike some drivers who become involved in public feuds or heated exchanges, Elliott has built a reputation for allowing his performance on the track to do most of the talking. That approach has earned respect from many within the garage, but it has also made him an even more difficult opponent to predict during crucial moments of a race weekend. Adding to the intrigue is Elliott's strong record at several of NASCAR's premier venues. Rival teams understand that when the number 9 team finds the right setup, Elliott possesses the racecraft and experience needed to challenge for victories against the sport's best drivers. Crew chiefs have reportedly placed additional emphasis on race strategy and track position, recognizing that Elliott often excels when races come down to late-stage execution. The growing attention has also extended to social media, where fans continue debating Elliott's championship potential. Supporters believe the Georgia native is quietly building momentum at exactly the right time, while critics argue that he still needs more victories to establish himself as the leading title favorite. Regardless of opinion, the discussions have only increased the spotlight on Elliott as race weekend approaches. Kyle Busch has become one of the most closely watched figures in NASCAR ahead of the upcoming race weekend, as his recent comments and competitive approach have sparked intense discussion among rivals throughout the garage. The veteran Richard Childress racing driver enters the event determined to reverse a challenging stretch of results, but his outspoken attitude and aggressive mindset have once again placed him at the center of attention. Several competitors have acknowledged that Busch remains one of the toughest drivers to race against, especially when he feels he has something to prove. Much of the recent attention stems from Busch's candid assessment of his season and his determination to fight for stronger finishes. During media appearances leading up to the race, the two-time Cup Series champion made it clear that he is unwilling to lower his expectations despite facing setbacks throughout the year. His confidence has drawn mixed reactions from fellow drivers, with some praising his competitive spirit, while others view his comments as additional pressure on an already tense championship battle. The spotlight intensified after Busch openly discussed the increasingly aggressive nature of racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. He suggested that drivers are taking bigger risks than ever before, particularly on restarts and during late race battles. While some competitors agreed with his concerns, others interpreted the remarks as criticism directed toward rival drivers, creating fresh debate throughout the paddock just days before the green flag drops. Several rivals have also pointed to Busch's history of using psychological tactics before major races. Throughout his career, the veteran driver has never hesitated to speak his mind when discussing competitors, race strategy, or controversial incidents. As a result, many drivers pay close attention whenever Busch addresses the media because his comments often become a major talking point before race weekend even begins. Adding to the intrigue is Busch's strong record at many of NASCAR's premier venues. Despite recent struggles, competitors recognize that the veteran remains capable of contending for victories whenever he finds speed in his race car. Crew chiefs and drivers alike have noted that counting Busch out is often a mistake, particularly when he arrives motivated by criticism or fueled by disappointing results from previous races. The discussion surrounding Busch has also gained momentum on social media, where fans continue debating whether his aggressive approach remains an asset or has become a liability. Supporters argue that his willingness to race hard is part of what has made him one of the most successful drivers of his generation. Critics, meanwhile, believe his confrontational style sometimes creates unnecessary conflict with competitors and distracts from his on-track performance. Bubba Wallace once again became one of the most talked-about drivers in NASCAR after a series of incidents and emotional reactions throughout the 2026 season drew intense scrutiny from rivals and fans alike. While Wallace has shown strong pace and competitive performances for 23 Cups Racing, several on-track moments have reignited debates about aggressive driving, accountability, and driver conduct. One of the biggest flashpoints came at Michigan International Speedway, where Wallace confronted Carson Hocevar following a race incident that contributed to a major multi-car crash. Witnesses described Wallace delivering a lengthy and animated post-race lecture to Hocevar, accusing the young driver of creating unnecessary chaos through overly aggressive racing. The confrontation quickly spread across social media, with many NASCAR observers debating whether Wallace was justified in calling out his rival or whether emotions had simply boiled over after a frustrating afternoon. The controversy added to an already difficult stretch for Wallace. Earlier in the season, he suffered several disappointing DNFs, despite showing competitive speed. Following one such incident at Nashville Superspeedway, Wallace openly expressed frustration, saying he often becomes the target of criticism even when circumstances are beyond his control. His comments generated mixed reactions, with supporters sympathizing with his situation, while critics argued that the veteran driver needed to focus more on results than public complaints. Another moment that fueled discussion occurred after the Watkins-Glen race. Television cameras captured a heated conversation between Wallace and fellow Toyota driver Christopher Bell on pit road. Initial speculation suggested the two drivers were involved in a serious disagreement, prompting widespread reaction from fans and media. Wallace later clarified that much of the public interpretation was inaccurate, explaining that frustrations from the race had spilled over into a conversation that was ultimately less dramatic than many believed. Rival drivers have also weighed in indirectly on several incidents involving Wallace throughout the season. At Talladega, where a massive Big One crash eliminated a large portion of the field, discussions quickly emerged regarding responsibility for the accident. While Wallace accepted accountability for his role in one incident, other competitors used the opportunity to criticize the increasingly aggressive nature of superspeedway racing. Despite the criticism, Wallace has continued delivering strong performances when circumstances allow. His ability to remain competitive amid constant scrutiny has earned respect from many within the NASCAR garage. Even when rivals disagree with his approach or public comments, few question his determination and willingness to speak openly about difficult situations. That combination of competitiveness and honesty has made him one of the sport's most polarizing figures.